This classic whistle-stop presentation is brought to you by Out West. Love the West? So do we. Click the icon or go to scvoutwest.com.
So, without further delay, come on. Up aboard the Whistle Stop Presidential Special. Our first scheduled stop is the L.A. County Fair in Pomona, California, where we see a variety of trains. It's probably the best example of what Whistle Stop is all about. Every year, train enthusiasts will find the story of American railroading on display at the Los Angeles County Fair, from small trains to locomotive giants. The first fair was held in October of 1922. The Los Angeles County Fair is the largest county fair attended in North America. The fairgrounds encompass 487 acres. There are 1.5 million feet of exhibit space and 18 exhibit buildings, including attractions such as a circus, flower and garden shows, horse racing, horse and stage shows, an agriculture pavilion, an education expo, livestock, sports, recreation, a California wine exhibit, and much more. Perhaps the greatest one symbol of the power of the American spirit is the steam locomotive. The fair's historical railroad exhibit has been a popular attraction for many years. The former Santa Fe station from Arcadia stands at the entrance of the exhibit. Built in 1895, it witnessed the passing of the Santa Fe trains for over 70 years. It has appeared in numerous motion pictures and is a classic example of the gingerbread style of architecture of the 1890s era. In 1969, the station was torn down piece by piece and reassembled at its current site on the fairgrounds. Today, it serves as a museum by the Southern California Railway and Locomotive Historical Society. Bill Fletcher, the exhibit's chairman, gave us a brief description of the station and the society's equipment.
We're now in the waiting room of the old Arcadia Santa Fe station, which was built in 1895. We have here on display a 4.5-inch gauge live steam locomotive, which was made in 1903. We have various other memorabilia and artifacts on display within the station. This car is 85 feet long. It weighs 85 tons. Today we have a group of school children here at the Pomona Fair visiting our railroad display. This is a solarium room of the nickel plate business car number 6, which was used quite extensively over that system. Originally there were serving tables and plush chairs in here for the officials. This car also has upper and lower berths. It has a galley and of course toilet facilities.
Bill showed us the largest steam locomotive ever built. The Union Pacific Big Boy number 4014 tips the scales at more than 594 tons. Even though it generated top horsepower, its best speed was only 80 miles per hour. The 130-foot engine was retired in 1959.
You are now in the cab of the Big Boy, the 4014. This is the throttle which makes the engine go. Here's the whistle card. There are the air brake pressure gauges. This is the automatic train brake valve. This is the independent train brake. Here's the reverse lever, sander, and this lever here was for an injector to put water in the boiler. We had 2, one on either side in case of failure of one. The mini valves are for various functions for the operation of the engine. This is a coal-fired engine. had this automatic stoker which brought the coal right into the firebox. Here now within an old Santa Fe wooden caboose built in 1923, commonly known as a drover's caboose because the cattleman rode in here with the conductor and the rear brakeman. At that time, the boys did a lot of cooking. Here is a typical caboose stove with a flange on here so the skillet and the coffee pot wouldn't fall off during the train's operation. Here was their table. This stove was coal-fired. Here are the dough buckets to treat hot boxes. There is their water tank. They had bunks here. They virtually lived in the caboose. Here we have an old-time switch engine built by the Schenectady Locomotive Works in 1887. Originally, it was on a predecessor railroad of the Santa Fe Railroad, and it ran in the outer harbor here for years, and they presented it to us for preservation and exhibition. We have many other items on display within the station. You can see the various switch stands, motor cars, baggage trucks, and all kind of different types of railroadiana.
To see trains in motion, the fairgoer needs only a little imagination and to take a short walk to the Education Expo building. Here, a model train chugs along a layout 105 feet long and 26 feet wide, with 250 custom-built switches. The trains are hand-built and presented by the Citrus Empire Model Railroad Club. An average locomotive can cost between $250 and $500, and if a modeler's time is counted, the total can add up to nearly $3,000. It is not unusual to see up to $1 million worth of equipment running around a model landscape. Pacific Electric's big red car trolleys are represented. Such trolleys ran in the Los Angeles area from 1913 to 1951. Unlike the average toy train, these model trains are built in O gauge and include every minute detail that could be found on its powerful life-size model. The trains journey through a mock-up of the Pomona Valley, including mountain tunnels, bridges, and 25 separate switching stations. The Citrus Empire Railroad has been used as a background in several TV commercials and in the 1981 Perry Como Christmas show. Monorail. The term captures the harassed commuters' hopes and prayers. And with the unique rapid transit system comes the superlatives of new, modern, and tomorrow. The public interest has always been stimulated when such a system was used at the Seattle World's Fair with the recommendations of leading transportation authorities and, of course, the featured ride at Disneyland. True, the adaptation is current, but the monorail is not new. Officials of American Crane and Hoist Corporation, who were the prime contractors in 1961 of the $600,000 system, relied upon proven methods and extra safeguards during design, construction, and operation. The one-track railway is suspended from the guide rail, a method used for over 60 years by the famed Wuppertal line of the German Ruhr Valley. The suspended line at the fair is the only one of its type on the West Coast. The electrically operated cars that soar high above the fairgrounds are 31 feet long and 9 feet high at the peak point, and they weigh 2 tons each. Interior passenger space is 20 feet long by 6 feet wide, with a ceiling height of 6 feet 6 inches, accommodating 24 passengers. The fair's monorail is always in operation from the opening day and carries thousands of passengers on a scenic ride over the grounds. It features 14 aluminum cars traveling a complete loop of the fairgrounds. Finally, another model train display can be found at this fair. Here, while fairgoers are picnicking, a set of Model G gauge trains journeys through a California diorama. This type of garden railroading is catching on in America. It has been available in Europe for many years. This exhibit has been a major attraction to fairgoers since 1935 and is recognized as the world's largest half-inch model railroad. 1985 marked the 50th anniversary of the outdoor miniature railroad. This 100-foot by 250-foot layout operates on a 24-volt DC current, complete with mountains, trees, trestles, lake, and what helped California grow in its early days, a mission that is a composite of many of the original 21 missions on the El Camino Real. The model was built by Pete Morrow of Los Angeles. This gentleman donated his time and talents in building the mission. The display features 4 main lines, 2 passenger lines, and 2 freight lines, each line approximately 750 feet in length. Each passenger train stretches out to about 70 feet in length, with 3 diesel units and 16 cars each, and travels 25 miles a day during fair time. A miniature highway features powered semi-trucks and trailers, the highway being approximately 750 feet in length. The outdoor miniature railroad is owned and operated by Huey Miniatures. The landscape gives the impression that tiny people must have inhabited the area. Of course, we know this could not have been, but who knows what happens every evening when all the visitors have departed and the fair gates are locked.
Shop, look, and listen right here at WhistleStopUSATV.com.